Yeah, he said, but the way that you going, you ain't gonna be in their life. So if I was you, I'd break the stereotype. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like,
you took
it
the
made
game
me feel
from
like,
the police.
It made
you
me
took
feel
his
like
game.
it made me.
I don't associate with cops at all.
What's up, guys? Mike Winters here. Welcome back to Point and Shoot. And in this video, I'm going to be exposing some extremely disturbing information that I accidentally discovered during my research of local Oakland rapper Philthy Rich. Apparently, Philthy Rich has been going on all these podcasts lying up a storm in hopes of either boosting up his image to promote his rap career or to hide the facts from the fans to conceal something even more sinister. Which one of those it is, I don't know. I am not a scientist, but I do know that it's cap, regardless. And I thought it would be hilarious to make a video about it. So let's get into it. In this interview with Sharp, Philthy's talking about why he started rapping and how he was trying to avoid going back to jail after serving a year for selling cocaine, allegedly.
Clause, stay away. I was on probation, but next time I get wrapped up, I'm going to the pen.
How long did you serve?
A year, but I'm saying next time if I would have went to probation, if I'd have violated the probation, I'd did 5 years.
So after some digging, I found out that Philthy did his year in jail allegedly in 2007 when he was 24 years old. But I found this interesting because none of his... But then when Philthy Rich came home from jail in 2010, this is what his music sounded like.
And I ended up catching a pistol case outside of Oakland in San Jose at a show. And then when I got out in like 2010, it just been straight narrow since.
Everybody know what kind of world it is.
Yeah, I'm a convict and all my niggas locked up. Talk slick, bitch, and get your ass boxed up. I've been feeling like Pac since I came home.
So he didn't even do a year at this point. This is his case where he did 6 months for a gun possession, but he's acting like he's fresh out off a 10-year bid, rapping about how he's, feeling like Tupac since he came home and all his friends are locked up and everything else like that. But before, when he completed a year in county, he gets out and he doesn't mention it at all. He just talks about how it's fuck the police and he doesn't care about the police. That doesn't add up. It just seems suspect to me at this point. I don't know. You can let me know in the comments how wrong I am. So now we know that Philthy Rich did his 6-month bid from 2009 and got out in 2010 from a pistol case from getting caught with a gun at a show in San Jose. But every podcast other than this that I've seen, he talks about how he went to jail because of Oakland Gang Wars, the TV show.
You were in Gang Wars.
On Gang Wars.
On Gang Wars,
Yeah.
the TV show.
Yeah.
Well, you know when I did Gang Wars, I went to jail for that.
Which is like a gang life documentary on the Discovery Channel, and it was featuring Oakland for an episode, and I guess Philthy Rich was asked to be on it. I'm guessing either by Oakland PD or Philthy Rich's probation officer, because how else would Discovery Channel even know who Philthy Rich was to contact him about doing this special? And if you watch Gang Wars Oakland, it's pretty obvious that Discovery Channel is working with the police on this documentary. If not, how the hell would Discovery Channel get a hold of Philthy Rich? Were they just walking around seminary with a camera saying, hey, we're doing a documentary. Does anyone want to be on camera and answer a bunch of questions? So he's trying to get people to believe that Oakland Gang Wars caused the police to become aware of him, and the attention brought on by the documentary led the police to get a search warrant and kick his door in.
On Gang Wars, the TV show.
Yeah.
Gang Wars.
So you went to jail for something you said on the show?
No, for being on the show.
Meaning?
Basically, I didn't actually go to jail for being on the show, but I got their attention by being on the show, and they came and hit the house.
And the story is ever changing.
And then you got arrested for possession of an illegal weapon. Was it because of the appearance on Gang Wars?
Nah, they hit the house though after Gang Wars.
The correct answer is no. I went to jail for the pistol case because I got caught at a concert in San Jose with a gun, and they sentenced me to 6 months in jail with probation.
But I mean, I don't know why. Like, I didn't do nothing. Like, I didn't say nothing incriminating. I didn't snitch on nobody. I didn't do nothing. I was just, the whole thing was how they was supposed to portray it was me leaving the streets to become a rapper.
Okay.
That's all that was. Like, I went, like.
Vlad specifically asked you if Gang Wars in Oakland was the reason why you went to jail, and then now you're talking around in circles and trying to confuse everyone, and it's working. Vlad is confused, but I'm not. You understand? I'm not confused. I was like, what the fuck am I watching? Listen to this version, and this is 2 years later.
I got their attention by being on the show, and they came and hit the house. Shit, they had my my address for my probation.
So it was a search warrant.
Yeah.
They find anything?
A sack of weed.
For a 10 sack.
Like at 6 in the morning.
You gonna chop up in that into $1, maybe into joints.
And then look,
you know
it wasn't even in the sack, and try to charge me for it. Like a possession of sales though.
So you're mentioning that you went to jail because of Gang Wars Oakland when really you only allegedly got booked for a 10 sack of weed, and you're saying that they tried to give you intent to distribute? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, coming from a guy that's had so many cases, countless cases, I mean, you've been going in and out of jail since you were 11 years old,
so
right?
You get your first case at 11.
Yeah.
By the time you're 18, how many cases?
I was on all type of probation, drug diversion, 5-year felony, 3-year felony.
Wait.
When I caught another case and they moved it up to 5-year. I actually got out in 2010 for a pistol case. I just been on the straight and narrow ever since.
And this 10 sack of marijuana case is the one that you want to mention on Vlad TV. I mean, is it because you're trying to plug your TV show? I think so. All right, so next I want to show you guys Philthy Rich telling a bunch of tall tales about a story where he was involved in a homicide investigation and was questioned by detectives.
So, and my friend had ended up getting killed on the block. So the police come. I'm walking my dog from my mama house on Seminary. Homicide hit the curb, like 2 cars deep. Bam.
You already own at this point.
Huh?
You already kind of own at this point. Or
No,
you
I ain't on it. I'm fresh. I'm still on the block. This is what sparked like I got to change. This is what I got to go hard.
No, I'm just
at
saying like street fame. Like you was already a well-known nigga.
Yeah, for sure.
Before the music, like just a well-known nigga. Like no, just a well-known nigga.
I've been popular, been a nigga, been having bitches, been dope. Been having hella dope cars, all that shit, like all that fly.
Living like the rappers wanted to when they was moving. The other ones that made it.
I've been already doing my thing, so I'm leaving my mama house. I'm going to the block. I'm actually about to go get it was a store on Foothill that sell clothes, so I'm about to go get something to wear out the store. And homicide, they had followed me from my mama house. They hit the curb, and then threw me in the car. They take me downtown to homicide, and they like, we know you was there when this person got killed. You get what I'm saying? They had me on the footage or whatever walking in the store. So I'm like, they showed me different pictures of who this was and who that was. I'm like, man, I don't know nothing. Like, I don't know who nothing is. If you feel like
your dog.
Yeah, like if you feel like you know who did it, what you need me for? You get what I'm saying? They're like, we need you to identify. I'm like, man, I can't identify nothing. I ain't seen nothing. So the one guy was in there. He was like, my partner don't like you. You get what I'm saying? But he like, you in your kid's life? No, he said, your father in your life? I'm like, nah. He like, is you in your kid's life? I'm like, yeah. He said, but the way that you going, you ain't gonna be in their life. So if I was you, I'd break the stereotype. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like,
you took
the
game from the police.
It made
you
me
took
feel
his game.
So this homicide situation with the interrogation happened after he already did his year in jail.
At the time being, I had a search clause, a stay away. I was on probation, but next time I get wrapped up, I'm going to the pen.
How long did you serve?
A year, but I'm saying next time if I would have went to probation, if I would have violated the probation, I'd have did 5 years, 3 to 5 years.
Okay, so I want you guys to pay attention to this, okay? Homicide picks him up and takes him downtown for interrogation. He's on probation. He's on search and seizure. He's this high-profile, ultra-criminal. Now, Philthy Rich is going to tell a crazy story about how these same detectives planted crack on him, and then miraculously, that crack possession case just went completely away, and nothing ever happened. Watch this.
So they put the crack, in your locker or something?
No, they didn't put it on my locker. I guess they said that they got it off me. It was actually the person who got killed, rocks or whatever it was. I don't know what was in it. Homicide hit the curb.
They hit the curb, and then threw me in the car.
In the car, homicide, take me downtown. Remember I told you about this? That's what I was talking about. They pull the pictures out. I don't know nothing. Bam, went to jail. For the crack I ain't know nothing about.
So they put the crack, in your locker or something?
No, they didn't put it on my locker. I guess they said that they got it off me. Or whatever. When I went to court, it was his testimony against mine.
So the police got on the stand and said that we found.
No, we didn't even go that far. When that nigga told me he was in the he he was in there, I'm like, all right, just give me the deal. Because he was going to win.
So you took a plea deal?
Mm-hmm.
Because you were facing a drug case at this point with a lot more years.
Mm-hmm. It's just what it is.
And it wasn't even your shit.
Well, my shit, I don't know what was in that bag, but.
So you took a plea deal for possession of crack cocaine when you were on probation for all this shit. The next time you get violated, you're going to prison for 5 years? That's not the version that you told Sharp.
But I'm saying next time if I would have went to probation, if I would have violated the probation, I'd have did 5 years, 3 to 5 years. You ain't going to be in that life, so if I was you, I'd break the stereotype. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like.
You took
it
the
made me
game
feel
from
like
the police.
So you took a plea deal.
Mm-hmm.
Because.
You know, we can make this go away. I'm like, what? Like, man, take me to the station, man. Like, we ain't finna play them type of games.
So what was the plea deal, and how did you get out of getting violated for taking a plea deal on a crack case and avoiding prison time? Now, I don't know if he's just lying and making up stories and telling tall tales, or if he really believes this shit because he's like developmentally disabled. But what I do know is that Philthy Rich has made a name for himself by calling out other people for their interactions with the police, when I'm seeing Philthy Rich admit himself that he's had multiple conversations with the police and these mysterious cases just poof, disappear. And it just doesn't add up. And for him to criticize other people, to me, is crazy. Here's a clip of Philthy Rich talking about how if he needed to get the police involved, he wouldn't do it himself. He would have someone else call the police. Watch this.
You have a lot of jewelry. Is the jewelry insured? Mm-mm. It's not insured. Mm-mm. Okay, well, my jewelry is insured. Mm-hmm. So if someone breaks into my house, I have to call the police to file a police report so I could cash in my insurance.
That's not snitching, though.
So, but, it's calling the police.
That's not snitching, though, and that's you calling them. You come from a different area than what I come from.
So you're saying that if you insured your jewelry and your house got broken into,
I wouldn't call them.
You wouldn't call them?
I had somebody else make the reports. I got alarms on my spot and cameras and everything. I can sit in the house and watch the cameras like Scarface.
Okay, all cameras really do is create evidence for the police. I mean, what do you need a camera for if you're Scarface? Just to see people coming up so you can machine gun them? This is crazy. Security cameras are for investigations and stuff. All right, and this next clip is Philthy Rich having a conversation with a police officer that had him pulled over. And instead of taking the fifth and remaining silent, he ends up going back and forth and having a full-blown conversation with this cop. And, I really don't agree with this, guys.
Pulled over, license, registration, insurance. Yeah. Where was you going? Minding my business. You on probation? Nope. Smell like marijuana. I don't even smoke. They tried to do me like that one time. And I was dirty as fuck, too. I was scared as shit. I ain't gonna lie. I was on the freeway. But it's just 4 black niggas in the Bentley, smashing on the freeway, doing like 80. They pulled me over. I smell marijuana. I'm like, listen, my nigga, if you want to illegally search my car, I'm gonna call my lawyer right now. I don't smoke marijuana. I have everything is up to date. What is the issue here? Just tell me I just told you ain't no marijuana. Why do you keep asking me? Why you getting mad? Because you keep asking me to admit to something that's not here. You done said it 5 times. Where's the marijuana? I told you I don't smoke. Ain't no marijuana in the car. Why you keep asking me about it? That's just a probable cause to go in the car. They've done me like that before. It wasn't no marijuana in the car. I smell weed. Get out the car.
Okay, what you're hearing right now is a description of textbook talking to the police. What? He's talking to the police. He's giving them clues. He's telling them he doesn't smoke when maybe the 4 other people in the car, maybe they do smoke. They don't need you to give permission to enter the car if they smell marijuana. Once they smell marijuana, they're getting in that car. You understand? So every time you open your mouth to a police officer during a stop, you're never supposed to do that. You just hand them your driver's license and registration. And that's it. You don't ask them, you don't answer any questions about where you're going, where you're coming from, anything else like that. And if they say they smell something in the car, you don't say anything. Because if they smell something, why aren't they fucking pulling everyone out? And if your other passengers smoke weed and they smell like weed, and you say to the cops, I don't smoke weed, then that's dry snitching. Because it's the same thing like if someone has a gun in the car and you don't have the gun, but you know somebody else does, and you tell the officer, oh, I don't have a gun. That's dry snitching. And, this isn't any different. Do you understand? This is coming from a guy who's been to jail 1 million times. He's done 100 bids.
He had a couple years.
Yeah, 6
spread
months,
out.
6 months, 90 days, waiting to see the judge. I never did any pen time, but
So how much time total have you done in jail your whole life?
Like it's always been like a year here like that. Like it ain't been no consistent 5 years.
So 5 years total? Wow, that's crazy.
So you were like 2 strikes?
No,
Well, not 2 strikes. I don't mean 2 strikes.
I was saying get a strike, but it was like if I'd have violated that probation on 5-year felony, and then I was going to the pen.
So this guy is the same guy that calls Messy Marv a snitch for filing a police report for getting beaten unconscious in Reno so that he can sue Circus Casino. I mean, this is the guy. Now, I'm not here to call anyone a snitch or do any of that, but I will say that what Messy Marv did is way less egregious than what I've seen here today. On that stand. So we'll see on the next video. Point and Shoot signing out. Hit the like button for me, though, so I can keep these videos coming. See you guys on the next one.